Good morning, good morning. How you guys doing? Nice to have you. Thanks for joining. Tuesday morning, November 5th, 2024, as you know. Big week. We have a lot of data coming out. And so I wanted to take a look again with you, look at the markets and see what's going on here. Gold last night, I don't know if you saw, a little bit of a tricky move from gold. We're watching this daily chart to see if this demand zone is going to break through. And yesterday it just did a little dip, a little dipper right through the zone and came right back up. So I was saying, watch the 1 hour chart because there could have been a nice supply zone there that was going to be created. But the zone never did get created, so therefore the momentum never kicked in. So this is what we were looking at here. This is the daily chart, and here's the demand zone that we're talking about right here. This is the one right here, okay? And so let's zoom in and take a look at the 1 hour chart right here. Okay, so that was the dip right here. Let's see, right there. That was the dip right there, okay? So it was possible that they were going to create a supply zone, but they didn't consolidate price down here and do all the things that we'd be looking for there to be a legitimate 1 hour area of supply. So they reversed price back up, so no supply there, so no momentum to the downside, but it got pretty close. It got pretty close. This wick down and then coming back up is quite interesting. Don't know what caused that, but I would have to say that the demand zone is still holding for this time being. Okay, demand zone is still holding. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I'm using the TradingView app. I don't know if you guys have used that before, but it's okay. I find that my watch list, the lettering, it's a little bit on the blurry side. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's like a tinge of blurriness on the watch list. I don't know why that is, but that's how it is. Otherwise, I'm going to check it out and see if it works well, because somehow my browser keeps on doing strange things, not loading time frames and just randomness, things not loading, kind of freezing. Do you ever get that, guys? Do you get that situation? Anyways, so gold, right? Still holding demand, like we were talking about. As long as that demand holds, there's no downside. If this demand breaks, then price can easily drop to the 2.6s, okay? There's nothing to stop it from dropping. So we're going to be watching that this week to see if the banks want to hold it or remove it, okay? Right now it's holding, so as far as it holds, it's going up. Let's take a look. Another thing we can take a look at is the 1 hour chart to see what kind of a reaction we're having off of this area. So look, this is the structure that we have here on the 1 hour chart. Now, if the banks were going to be using this area of demand to buy, then we'd be looking at this structure and watching to see if it shifts from being downwards, okay? Because right now it's downwards. We want to see if it shifts and breaks out of that downward structure into something neutral. And if it breaks into something neutral, then the odds of price rallying from this demand becomes higher. But we'd be watching to see how it breaks the trend line, if they're creating short-term demand, and whether they're going to use that demand for pushing price higher. Then the next thing we'd be watching for is a bullish pattern, an ascending structure being created. And if that is the case, then we'd expect price to continue higher, okay? So that's one thing I'll be watching is this structure here on the 1 hour chart. If you guys want me to take a look at any charts, just let me know in the chat, and I'll definitely take a look at them for you, okay? So that's gold. Let's look at silver, because we've been watching silver and watching to see how it's going to be correlated. And one thing that I could tell you is that we have this really nice ascending structure here, right? We've talked about this before. And not only that, but we have institutional demand right here. This is an institutional buying zone. So as far as we're concerned, based on the daily time frame, we have an upward trend here. What does that tell us? That tells us that the banks are interested in taking price higher based on a short term, okay? The short term. And so we have gold hitting demand. We have silver in an upward structure. Hasn't quite yet hit the demand zone, and we're starting to creep right to the edge, right? Just like this, right to the edge, like this, right to the edge of the trend line. And if it surpasses that trend line, then the odds of price dropping start to grow significantly, okay? It starts to grow significantly. And if you look at where the trend line is and look at where this candle is being created, it's right there on the edge of the trend line. So it better hold this trend line and start pushing price up, because if it doesn't, if we get another candle to the side here, then the odds of this structure holding become a lot less, and the odds of a price drop become a lot higher, okay? So I'd be watching that. I'm going to be watching that one closely. And another thing I can do is click on my ascending trend line, add an alert once per bar when it crosses, and write ascending trend line broken, watch for move lower. And so if that happens, what do you think is going to happen with gold? Likely follow suit, right? Ascending trend line broken, watch for move lower. Well, why is that giving me the alert if it hasn't even traded on the other side? Crossing once per bar close. Okay, let's do that. Thank you. Thank you very much. So let's take a look here. Okay. That is how gold is correlated with silver. There's been a couple moments down here at the lows where it wasn't as correlated, but lately it has been massively correlated, okay? So a break of that trend line would suggest that we're going to get a move down on silver, and if that happens, then likely we see the same thing happen on gold, okay? So you want to take a look at USCAD. Yeah, I was going to get to USCAD. USCAD's a big one because, like I was mentioning before, let's take a look at their positions. Are they still, retail traders still aggressive with their positions? Let's see. Yeah, it looks like it. 94% short. They're still holding on for dear life. Wow. They are still holding on for dear life here with USCAD. Let's go zip over to the USCAD. So the drop begins as we were talking about. Let's open that up. And so shorts, retail traders short 94%, 19,000 lots. That's pretty big when you look at the historical numbers. It's a pretty large size. We knew that they were going to have to offload some of those positions. We were looking at the 1 hour chart again. Remember when we were talking about the momentum shifting and all that stuff on gold, what could have happened? Well, it happened here on the USCAD. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Here we have an ascending structure. Okay. This was the ascending structure. And the moment it went into a neutral phase was right here. Right there, okay? How did it do that? Well, it broke the ascending structure right here, and the banks came in with some significant selling here, and so they reversed price up to that selling area, and then they sold, okay? We see a slight little rally up, and it's been back down. So that short-term momentum shift that short-term shift in momentum took place. They used that supply to continue dropping price, and that's where we're at right now. So remember, I told you the drop is coming. We hit supply, daily supply. Last time we hit a daily supply zone, and the banks were at 219K, which was a new all-time maximum long position that they created. Look at the drop, all right? Look at the drop that we had. And so now we're hitting supply, and numbers are 194. Okay, so not all-time max, but up there, right up there. All right, and so now we're getting that drop. We're going to be coming into demand, but I think if that demand gets broken through, 136.50s can be achieved. So we'll see. We'll continue to monitor that. I do have orders on this one. I am interested in getting in short. They haven't been triggered yet, so I am waiting patiently. Okay, let's see. Was there any other ones that you guys wanted to take a look at? CAD is going downhill hard. Have a look at the DAX. Kevin, I think you need to look at Wells Fargo. Why is that, sir? W something, I can't remember their. Oh, look at this. This is not good. Look how long it's taking on the TradingView app. This is not good. This is strange. WFG, is it? What is it? WFG or something like that? No. You want to give me the ticker, and then I'll help you out. Help me help you. Wells Fargo. Where are you? Where are you? WFC. Wells Fargo. What about it? It's looking good. Yeah. We know that the banking industry is good. Financial, right? It's looking really good. Actually, I was just reading in an article. Where is it? Financials viewed as top trade under Republican presidency. The expectations for looser regulation and increase. Oh, look, if that's the case or not, I don't know. Probably, maybe, I don't know. But what we could tell you, right, when we are looking at the financial sector, is that it's looking really good long term for a move higher. Okay, really good. We have trends to the upside. We have significant institutional buying zone here. Okay, this is like rock star level. All right, what does that tell us? That tells us we have an upward trend on the higher time frames, and we have institutional demand. So if price drops, which is inevitable, you can't have price go up forever. When price does drop, we expect this institutional area to come into play and keep propelling price higher. So short term, we got some supply in play, as you can see here on the daily chart. Okay, so that means short term the banks are selling. So would I want to be getting into financial stocks right now? Probably not. I want to see a little bit more of a drop, which looks very, very possible. A little bit more of a drop, and then I'll start, getting into positions on good-looking charts. But yeah, the financial sector looks really good. WFC, if we go back to that. The stock looks good. I like it. It just ripped through a massive area of supply, which is good. So let's see the monthly chart. Let's see. Okay. So we had some supply here. And we have demand. Look at that. Look at that latest demand area. Boom. Holy smokes. That was it right there. That was a good spot. $50 to get in. Now it's at 63. That was really good. And we might have something like this. Yeah, that looks good. So whether we have an uptrend here or not, it's difficult to tell. I'd have to do a little bit more analysis. It doesn't look great, but it's possible. It's possible, okay? But Wells Fargo looks good. Let's look at the weekly chart. Yeah, it seems like there's a little bit of nonsense up here, but like nothing really strong. Let me take a look here. We need to see. Yeah, I'd be watchful of this area here. Let's see if we got past that. Zip. We're in it now, but look. Do you see what happened here? Okay, this is a good sign. This is a good sign, guys. I'm going to tell you what nobody else can tell you. The institutions, the big money, are buying Wells Fargo, okay? And their algorithms just removed a significant area that was used for selling back in 2018. They just removed it. You know what that means? It's clear sailing to the upside. So yeah, this is a good looking chart. I'd be interested in buying this one, and I'd be doing something like that. Okay. Now the uptrend is not of the highest quality. It's somewhat weak because of the location of this area of demand. Okay. So if price came down to that buying area, I'd be careful with it because the ascending trend will be broken, and the buying zone with a broken trend line is of very low quality. It's too risky. I wouldn't bother. I'd wait for it to come down to that demand and then show me some new buying coming into the market. So we'd look at lower time frames, watch for momentum to shift and that sort of thing. But longer term, this looks good. Looks good. Just be somewhat careful with it, okay? Any other charts you guys want to look at? Let's see, nat gas. Yeah, we could look at nat gas. There we go, nat gas. Yeah, so we had a wonderful trade on this one. If you guys remember, probably not. I'm not sure. We had a wonderful trade on this one. Long signal was here. Target 1 was here. Target 2 is here. I don't know how we do it. How do we do it? How can you time the markets like that? How can you get out right at the top? It's not possible. The experts tell you it's not possible. We did it. These targets were laid out way before the move took place. I'm not like those other guys that you see on YouTube where it's like, oh, I got into a trade and oh, I just happened to exit out of the top. But I'm only telling you this after it happened. No, these targets were on the chart before the trade was entered. Before the signal was created, those targets were on the chart for everybody to see. All right. That's legitimate trading, folks. So it's stuck in this range. I mean, it came back down, it went back up, it came down. Like, what do I think now? Well, you know, at the end of the day, massive demand is in play down here. So, but it's in the middle of the ocean, right? If you look at the weekly chart, what do I mean by the middle of the ocean? Well, let's look at, you know, this chart. This is the dock, okay? This is the dock. And the destination dock is up here. And everything else in the middle is the ocean, okay? When you leave one dock, you typically go to the opposite dock, right? When you leave that dock, you typically go to the opposite dock. And that's in a ranging market. It looks like it's been ranging. Where's price right now? Right in the middle of the ocean. So depends on which way the winds are going to blow. The winds might blow this way and it might sail this way. The winds might blow that way. And what's the winds? The winds are the force, the buying, the selling that comes in from the institutions. When it's sitting in the middle of the ocean, I don't know what they're going to do. They could come in with buying. They can come in with selling. I'm not going to risk my money and take a guess as to what they're going to do. To me, that's just low odds. I wouldn't want to do something like that, okay? So I just would much rather just stay out. So for me, nat gas is untradeable, okay? When it was tradable, you know, the signal was there. After it made its move and it starts to range, you know, get out because now it's not predictable. Before it was predictable, you saw the targets. That was predictable. So that is when it's high odds to put money into the market. Other than that, I wouldn't touch it. Let's see. What's the ticker for gold-silver correlation? Oh, I don't know. Gold/silver, something like that. Euro US dollar. So Euro US dollar. Okay. Here's an interesting one. We still got that supply in play on the daily chart. You remember that? We were talking about that. And we saw the price. It came so close to breaking and then it just pulled back, which is interesting. It pulled back into where? Demand area here on the 4-hour chart. So we got supply here, demand here. Stuck within a range. If it's going to go lower, this demand zone has to break, and then we signal lower. If it's going to go higher, this supply zone has to break, and then we signal higher. So for me to know what direction the euro is going to go, this is all I'm looking at. I'm looking at the daily chart for upside, and I'm looking at the 4-hour chart for downside. It's that simple. That's what it comes down to, okay? So I'm not going to speculate right now on what's going to happen. There's a lot of news coming out today. When's the next one? We had the Aussie come out with the rates. They didn't move them. Today we have unemployment, okay, and then Wednesday we have nothing. Thursday we have Bank of England and the U.S. dollar Fed interest rate. So Thursday, big mover. Today, elections, all that stuff. You know, I think we should just wait and see what card they're going to play, because they're going to play their cards. At some point, the institutions are going to play their cards. We're going to see the moves that they're making, and then we can look for trades then. So we looked at gold, U.S. dollar, Japanese yen. Yeah, here's an interesting one. We had a big move from the highs because of needing to offload long positions. Big move from the lows because the bank's needing to offload short positions. Now we rallied up. We're hitting a daily area of supply. What happens? They just created demand on the weekly time frame, and we're pausing at the highs. Is it going to retrace that demand to continue pushing higher? It's possible. It's possible. But I don't think it's ideal right now to trade. I think I was looking at the 1 hour chart to see momentum shift. Yeah, and it actually did shift momentum right here. Okay, this was a momentum shift off the daily right here. Right here. Came down and then came back up again, gap down. So we're not doing much. There's not much momentum. Like, if this was really going to kick in, it would have kicked in there. But as you can see, it started to play out to the downside, and then it slowed down. So not much going on there. Look, again, I want to see what the euro is going to do, because whatever direction that euro is going to take, the rest of the markets that are correlated with it are going to move. So if it's stuck in the range and all I need is to see daily supply out or 4 hour demand out, I'm going to wait for one of those to take place, and then I'll have a better idea of what's going to happen with these other currencies. Right now we're hitting supply, so bias is to the downside, okay? But they could just rip through that supply as well, you know? So I'll wait and see with the euro, and you know, silver. You know, if silver is any indication, it creeping really close to that trend line, one more candle on the opposite side there, and that's giving me an indication that we're probably going to see a move down. And if silver goes down, probably gold will go down, probably euro will go down, and US dollar, Japanese yen will go up. All right, that's what my thoughts are. But again, I'd wait and see what happens with the euro first, and take it from there. CELH, good opportunity. Let's take a look. CELH. No, not yet. Potentially. I'd like to see it pull back a little bit further down into the $25 area. It could. But especially since we're hitting some demand here on the monthly time frame, it could do something. It could. But hard to say, because what's happening on the higher time frames is a retracement. Is a retracement down to what looks like very significant buying. If it got down to the $25 area, yeah, that looks really good for buying. Yeah. Celsius Holdings. Why is it dropping so badly? Earnings coming out on the 6th. Yeah, we could potentially. I'd like to see the reaction from earnings, because if it's like big spikes up, I don't know if I'd still want to buy it though. You know, we're just inching closer towards that area of demand, so it looks like that's where it wants to go. You know what I mean? It looks like it wants to go there. So unless there was significant shifts of momentum on the daily chart, I'd probably stay out of this for now. But yeah, I would be curious to look into the big drop on this stock and find out exactly why it's dropping so hard. Okay, they had good earnings back here, and it was used to sell the stock. Yeah, because it still has room to drop. If it got down here, $25, and it starts to shift momentum on the daily chart, weekly chart, you start to see bullish signals. I think that would probably be best to wait for that. Um, Mr. Wayne, sorry, back question on gold. If we close below 23.25 on the 1 hour, does it mean demand has been broken based on your charts and ready to drop towards 26? Let me go back to that and look at the 1 hour again. If we close below 23.25 on the 1 hour, 23.25 is really far down. Are you sure you got your number right? 27.25. If we close below, no, it's not that simple. There'd have to be a significant area of supply being created on the 1 hour chart first, and then yeah, that to me would signal that a move lower is coming. If a nice supply was formed and a break of that area, yeah. Okay, I'll take a couple more and then I will let you go. Nice long session today. Why not, right? Let's see, ABBV. I've watched this one before. Okay. They're down a bit in pre-market. This looks good. Uptrend, as you can see, I've done my analysis on this one already. Uptrend on the monthly chart. I don't like the location of the demand, not the best. Weekly chart looks pretty good. But yeah, that would be an interesting area for me to get in here. I would be watching for a momentum shift for potential long off there. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Very good. Yeah. Yeah, not bad. I'll add this one to my watch list. That looks pretty good. Oh, yesterday in level 1, I don't know any students here in this chat with us or in this live session. Holy smokes, we did a live session 1, level 1 session yesterday where we were taking a look at the utility sector. There are so many stocks in the utility sector that are setting up for massive moves. It's ridiculous. We found, what was it, 5 or 6 of them with really nice looking charts. So we added some to our watch list, and we'll be doing some analysis on them in our level 1, level 2, and then level 3 class. Level 1, we're going to locate the institutional buying and selling zones and the trend lines. And then level 2, we locate the trends, the key zones, the magic zones. The magic zones are the zones that we buy off of. They are the key areas of buying that we locate that are going to be used, very, very likely going to be used by the institutions to propel price higher. So those are the areas that we want to be buying because it's the same areas that the banks want to be buying. So amazing. Yeah, Ron, you were in the class. It was a great class. Great class. So many stocks setting up, like so many opportunities. It's just ridiculous. So we found one. Yeah, so that's going to be good. And so the utility sector, let me show you the utility sector, okay? It's setting up for a move higher. Right now it's short-term dropping, yeah, and we're expecting that, and this is beautiful. We want that because you can't have moves upwards forever. Eventually they have to turn back, get back into demand, and then when they get back into demand, that's where the big institutions come in with their buying, and then shoo, it's back up to the moon. So we like that. We want to see that. But massive buying is taking place in the utility sector, okay? Massive buying over the longer period of time. They're expecting this to continue higher. So we look at the, let me show you what we are looking at really quickly. So we go to the utilities. This is a nice website I use, Select Sector Spider. It's pretty good. I like it. And we go into utility sector here, click on that, and then we start looking through these charts, right? And here you go. Just here alone, we found so many opportunities, okay? Right? Oops, that's not what I want. Right there. just there alone, we found so many opportunities. It was crazy in these stocks. Like 6 or 7 or 5 of them. I can't remember what it was. Maybe 6 of them out of these were great looking charts, looking to explode. And so, I've done some analysis on them, looking to watch for long signals on some of them. And we're going to be doing analysis on one of them as well. Okay. Yeah, it was a great class. With the election and all that, I believe it's a great idea to wait and allow the market to settle down. Yeah, because you don't know. There's so many people thinking different things. We don't know what they're going to do. And there's going to be a lot of moves, I'm sure, that are going to be outside the regular trading that the institutions are doing. Remember, we track and follow what the banks are doing with price, okay? And we know what it looks like when they're moving the markets. We know that the candlestick formations are all in line with one another. They all, we have different types of candle formations. We have basing candles, border candles, momentum candles, okay? We have all these type of candles, and we know what they look like because they show us on the charts what they look like. When we get something that's out of the norm, then we know that's because of emotional involvement in traders, in retail traders getting involved in the market and causing different reactions. So we're going to wait for any of that unnecessary unpleasantness plays out, and then we'll see. Like I said, euro, just watch those supply and demand zones. That's all you need to watch. It's very simple. Supply gets taken out, guess what? Gold will go higher, silver will go higher, euro will go higher, dollar will drop, USCAD will drop, okay? All that sort of thing. So let's just watch. I could predict, but I don't have to. When the zone gets taken out, then we have our forecasts, and then we have our odds in our favor. Okay, that was fun. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I think I'll end it there. A nice long session for you this morning, 33 minutes. Hit the like and subscribe. If you're not subscribed to our channel, make sure you subscribe. We don't want you missing out on future analysis, because you're not going to get this analysis anywhere else. If you like support and resistance and all that stuff, okay, fine. Go and watch that somewhere else. But when you want to see what's really happening with the banks, the institutions that are actually controlling price and moving price, if you want to see where their buying and selling is, and you want to have a different understanding of the dynamics of the market and how it all comes together, come and join us. We'd love to have you. We've been doing it for a long time. And those who know. All right. You take care. Have a good one. See you later.